Let's see if I can pull this together today. Just came to me a few moments ago for this episode. And I'm trying to connect these terms, yet separate them, and then put them in a context that makes sense to you in terms of your own developing resilience. So, IN-CITE or IN-CITE. IN-CITE seems like something always positive and nice, yeah? The word itself generally has few opponents, especially if you are the recipient of an exciting thing or gift or something. Let's go into like a IN-CITE definition. IN-CITE means to cause strong feelings of enthusiasm and eagerness, to call to activity, to rouse to an emotional response. That's fair enough for a definition. That's IN-CITE. Let's look now into IN-CITE. I don't know why the knee-jerk reaction or traditional habit of resistance that word IN-CITE has like a bad rap. But I've heard that when you hear IN-CITE, it means something like from the masses out there or from the herd or status quo card carriers. But besides that, let's look at the definition for IN-CITE. To encourage someone to do or feel something unpleasant or violent, or to cause violent or unpleasant actions. Some common synonyms of IN-CITE are abet, foment, and instigate. While all these words mean spur to action, IN-CITE stresses a stirring up and urging on. Now that's interesting. Again, I really don't know how IN-CITE has an automatic negativeness or negativity attached to it, while IN-CITE is the pretty sister to the ugly IN-CITE one. But pardon the analogy, but I disagree with this default reaction to the word IN-CITE. Why can't IN-CITE get the best seat at the table? Why not? Allow me to elaborate on my rejection of IN-CITE. Really, I focus on the X part of IN-CITE and the N part of IN-CITE. But wait, let's take a look at the common component of those two words. CITE. CITE. Again, let's go to the dictionary. CITE means to call upon officially or authoritatively to appear as before a court. To quote by way of example, authority or proof. To refer to formally mention in commendation or praise. To name in a citation. To bring forward or call another's action. To bring forward or call to another's attention, especially as an example, proof, or precedent. Now I think we're getting there. That's why the N versus the X part has my interest in this conversation. X, like external. You need something or someone outside of you to call your attention forward. Or you could consider, or could you consider, calling forward from within you that attention, proof, presence, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding already deposited in you. I, just me, would cite for the inCITEful option and not wait for something or someone outside of me to excite me to live, to love, and to remain resilient. That's our common strength and call and purpose. Incite yourself to action. Always, however, with positivity and with yes and love. So I'm asking you to stay insightful with your incited self. Now, I'm no wordsmith or official, I think, is it etymologist, where you know words back and forth and cite the Latin derivation and how they're used in different languages, different countries. But for today, at least, give me this moment to discuss this thing about what cite, the essence of those two words, mean to me, and why maybe change your perspective on the term insight. The way it's spelled, INCITE. Again, we've heard inciting a riot, inciting a rebellion, inciting chaos. I'm asking you to just for a moment, or for parts of the 500 seconds, to consider not automatically rejecting something you haven't heard used this way before. But ultimately, I guess that's what I do in these episodes and even in my book about resilience. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not trying to change or rewrite definitions in the Webster's dictionary. But I am asking from what I am appreciating and have been called to share. And really, it's in line with how I approach life, business, in school, or studies. I'm not trying to be the antagonist, although I do serve that purpose quite well in business and in relationships. I do, if there has to be a choice, I'd rather be the antagonist, but an original one, an original protagonist, meaning I'm trying to bring forth what I'm uncovering, discovering, recovering, what not just makes sense to me, what feels good to me, but what feels good to me from the construct of what's positive, what's helpful, what's of value, what's of yes, what's of love. Not for any advantage I want from you, but I do want the advantage from me and from my creator to then take forward. And not for me to go make money on it, or I get people knocked down my door for, hey, we want you to be here and do this and give us this money, give you this money. Of course, that'd be nice in a way. In a way, though, you can't, or I can't prostitute myself just because what I'm saying might make sense, it might excite others. Hopefully, it incites them to consider the value of what I'm talking about. Not because I'm, a 6'4", 200-pound, strapping, dashing gentleman. It's just me. I'm just a guy trying to do what I do, trying to stay positive. Hopefully, often trying to stay current and present in what I'm doing, and not for the applause, just for me to accept and acknowledge and observe and communicate that in my presence, that I'm doing what feels like what I'm called to do because of all what I've been through, and I'm here to talk about it. Not that I wish on anybody's experience or anybody's life, but we all have our own things to go through. But I am seeking to use that citation inside of me to hopefully for you to bring it out of yourself into everything that you do. Stay present. Stay current. No matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 820.